Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Complete Fleet Livery Sales. Today we have a very special vehicle behind us that we will be doing a full in-depth walk around outside, inside, and go on a test drive to show you exactly why the Escalade remains the king of full-size SUVs in the livery market and why you should consider one for your fleet no matter how small or large that fleet may be. Regardless of the package you choose, Complete Fleet offers the Escalade as an ESV, which means the Escalade stretch vehicle, adding over 15 inches in the back for added comfort, full-size trunk space, and of course, way more durability as a whole for this vehicle when you are carrying those 5 or more passengers inside. Now, the Escalade itself is a highly premium vehicle, and we can see that all throughout. There's a variety of chrome accents added to add to this black raven exterior paint, which just makes this vehicle stand out much more. This is the facelift version. This is the newest of the new that the Escalade currently produces, and you can see that we have a fully updated front fascia. On the side, we have these awesome adaptive headlights, which will illuminate. Of course, they do come with automatic high beams included. We also have a full, almost self-driving capability where the vehicle will keep its own lane, enter turns at a certain speed, and of course, have adaptable cruise control to make your driving experience on those longer trips even better for your drivers. Underneath this massive hood, we have an infamous 6.2-liter V8, which has made it to a 10-speed transmission. This power plant is known to be extremely durable. It's been tested through and through with time. And of course, you also can pick up an extended livery warranty offered by GM in order to make your experience even better, which will get you all of the features that you see on your screen and will give you a peace of mind while you're operating this Cadillac within your fleet. Whether it's these massive chrome wheels, which add to the luxury, or the interior with a stunning leather that is literally everywhere. Over here, we have stitching on the door card. Everything is covered in premium materials. Your door handles are extremely high quality. And generally, when you're inside of this vehicle, the first thing that I noticed when we hopped in is how simple and understandable everything is. And yet it is a very, very much luxurious level of technology. Getting in as a passenger, we do have our extendable running boards, which pop out every single time you try to run into the vehicle. And this is a part of that luxury package. You can step on them, put all of your weight on it, and they just make getting in and out extremely easy inside of this Escalade, and they go away while you're driving for added aerodynamics and simply a much more sleek look. In here, we have a triple display. So of course, we have the speedometer, the central infotainment, and we also have a dedicated passenger screen here. So if you do have somebody up front, they can go ahead and mess with the climate control, the sound system. They can see the speedometer to see how fast you're going, and generally, it's just a very nice feature. Throughout this vehicle, we have an AKG sound system, which sounds tremendous, and we even have the speakers integrated into the actual headrest over here in the front. We have a massive subwoofer in the back, so this sound system is excellent. Regardless of the tunes that your clients decide to play, they will absolutely have an amazing time listening to their favorite song inside of the Escalade ESV. This vehicle is tall and its presence is very demanding. It is a very, very much luxury SUV. Of course, it comes pre-tinted in the rear all throughout for added comfort and of course confidentiality. Back here, we have a variety of storage space, whether it's in the middle with these extendable cup holders for your comfort, these captain chairs, which are magnificent. You can adjust them forward and backwards. You can also drop the back of the seat as much as you need to so you can make sure you're comfortable. And Cadillac, with the livery package, of course, makes these controls manual to make sure we do not have anything break. As a whole, this vehicle inside is upgraded with a much longer lasting leather than something standard from Cadillac, and it ensures the longevity of the interior of this vehicle, regardless of how many trips it takes and how many passengers it carries. Back here, massive amounts of space. You can also drop your seats back here with these buttons, and you get yourself a fully flat loading capacity all throughout the vehicle, all up until the front. You could almost put something like a tiny little boat in here if that's what you desire. So carry space will not be an issue, regardless of how big those suitcases are for the passengers that your transport is carrying. Now, in the back here on the driver's side, we have a 28.3 gallon fuel tank, which will get you over 500 miles on a full gas tank, which is tremendous considering how much this engine can pull and how much performance you get with this powertrain made it to that 10-speed automatic. All of the buttons are very simple to find and very simple to use. And even though Escalade and Cadillac as a whole are integrating a lot of their systems into the screen up here, you still have your physical buttons for something like your wheel drive selector. So if you want to select your 2-wheel drive, your 4 high, 4 low, or your modes, you can do all of that here. We also have a towing brake right there, so you can go ahead and tow with this Escalade, and it's a very, very versatile vehicle. Despite its size, it's a very, very comfortable all-arounder that just presents you with that next level of luxury that your customers are seeking. When you're in the driver's seat of the Escalade, you feel very much at home. You know exactly where every button is right from the start. It is not overwhelming because a lot of it is integrated into the screens, but you still have a load of features which make this a true full-size luxury SUV. On the steering wheel, we have a gorgeous design with kind of a similar shape on the top and the bottom, which makes operating this car extremely, extremely smooth. And the way the steering is set up, when we go on a drive here in a little bit, you will see just how excellent this vehicle responds to those steering inputs. On the left side of the steering wheel, we have our Super Cruise buttons, and we do get a trial of Super Cruise with this particular vehicle when you do purchase it here at Complete Fleet. And again, remember, if your driver is comfortable, your passengers will be even more comfortable. And in this car, your driver is guaranteed to be comfortable. Everything is kind of curving around you. You do have your 21 speaker AKG system, and again, they are integrated into your headrest. So up here, you are certainly going to get a phenomenal experience, but it is still a livery vehicle, and we have to remember that. So inside of the actual controls for the sound system, you can select AKG rear focus. So that means your rear passengers are going to be getting much more focus of that sound instead of you up here, which just provides your passengers with significantly more comfort. The camera system here is tremendous. We have our overhead camera, we have our side camera, and of course we have our hitch camera. So if you are carrying something in the back, you can see exactly what's going on. In the middle here, we still have our main control function. So we do have a joystick, which we can use to operate the main screen, and it makes it a very, very pleasant experience considering you do not have to touch this touch screen here in the middle all the time and get it smudgy. If it's down here, your passengers are less likely to see any type of dirt or fingerprints up on your main screen, which is of course in their central view every single time you're driving the car. So I do think this is a very nice touch from Cadillac. So again, it's very simplified because everything is in this menu, but I do enjoy the fact that we still have a joystick right here to control all the features without having to, prop yourself forward and go up to the main screen and touch it with your dirty fingers. We have a massive central console system right here, which you can take out a tray organizer, you can leave it in there. It has a load of space. Of course, our USB-A and USB-C plug wires. We also have wireless charging for your phone right here, and another cubby for your phone right behind this climate control system. Now up here, we can control our light that comes on with the door. We can also control how much we want the rear trunk door to open. We can open it 3/4, we can have it completely off, or we can have it open max. So if you are in a tighter parking space, you can set it 3/4. We also have our panoramic roof controls right there because we do have this humongous panoramic roof. So you can slide your roof open, you can slide your roof closed, you can also operate the sunshade, and you can tilt it with this button right there. Now, if you do want to go first, you're going to have to pull it towards you. This will actually engage your neutral, which is quite an interesting setup considering that it is the best to shift into gear by first putting your car into neutral and then into the gear that you are selecting. So we're going to go towards us and into drive, and then let go of the stick, and it will sort of return to its original position. We are starting in two-wheel drive because that's generally how you're going to operate this vehicle, but this is a four-wheel drive model. So you do have a button right here for your 4 high. You can also put it in auto, which will select the system for you depending on what the car thinks is best. Letting go of the brake here in the Escalade, it will not actually move that much because we do have our parking brake engaged, which is a button right here. An excellent feature in my opinion. When you do put the vehicle into park, it automatically engages your parking brake to avoid any type of rolling. But if we do press on the gas a little bit, it will automatically release the parking brake, and now we are moving in the Escalade ESV. Pulling out of the lot here, you certainly feel like you're inside of something very special. The Escalade sits a lot higher than what you're generally used to with your regular vehicle, and that presence allows you to have a lot more respect on the road when you are driving in regular traffic. Pulling out, the vehicle is staying extremely flat. You definitely feel that 10-speed transmission at work, and the gorgeous sound from this 6.2-liter power plant. We do have 8 cylinders, so of course you are going to have a lot more torque than what you're generally used to. The vehicle is very long, so if you cannot see very well out of this rear view mirror, all you do is flip this little button and you have yourself a camera assisted mirror up here with the rear view camera, which makes experience driving a lot simpler and makes you feel much more comfortable considering that you can see exactly what's happening out of here. The mirrors on the sides are huge, so you can see exactly what's going on the road, and generally as a driver inside of this vehicle, you feel extremely comfortable. There is a very comfortable sense of silence in this vehicle. The sound insulation is done very, very well. So it is very comfortable in here. Your privacy is not being disturbed by the outside noises. The tire noise is brought to a minimum. And of course, the brakes feel tremendous even for this extremely heavy Cadillac. The center dash here is very intuitive. We do have a controller here, which you can pull up your gauge cluster on. You can also pull up the entirety of Google Maps here on your screen. We also have something like driver assistance if you are using your Super Cruise, and my favorite feature, which is the AR camera, which will actually use artificial reality to integrate your turns and little arrows for you to know where to navigate to if you do have something like navigation on with Google Maps through CarPlay or generally through the vehicle's navigation system. The torque of the 6.2 is very pleasant, and you can tell that this vehicle was tuned for maximum torque power instead of horsepower, where it has to spin out a lot of down low power. This 10-speed does a phenomenal job of actuating all of that, and we are driving here on a slightly bumpy road. This vehicle is swallowing it up very well, especially considering the fact that the Escalade is a body-on-frame vehicle, which are typically known to be slightly stiffer, although safer, but this car just manages both terrifically well. We do have plenty of rubber on our massive wheels, and yet all of it works tremendously well to give you a pleasant driving experience that you would expect from something like this full-size luxury SUV. I do enjoy the fact that all of the controls, the main controls of the vehicle, are here in the driver's reach. So we do have our mode selection, which is a button to the left of the driver. Our entire climate control system is within hand's reach. So this car is driver focused in the sense of general control of the vehicle, which is very pleasant for a fleet operation. Now we do have a sport mode, which we can turn on for whatever reason. Perhaps your clients are running slightly late, which will stiffen up your suspension, which will make your engine a lot more responsive, and the transmission as a whole work a lot stronger in order to give you heavier acceleration, heavier steering control, and generally a much more sporty experience for those slightly more stressful situations. But the car still handles all of that extremely well. But driving the Escalade in sport mode, I mean, of course, it's not a CT5V, not a sports car, so we will go ahead and switch it right back with our mode button right here into our tour mode, which is the most pleasant experience in my opinion. Immediately our engine sound goes down, our transmission kind of relaxes, the dampers soften up, and generally it becomes the Escalade experience that you are looking for in this vehicle. As a passenger getting in the back of the Escalade, you're greeted with your deployable side step here. You get in, you have a beautiful handle, and you're very comfortable inside of this vehicle. The door is assisted with a beautiful hydraulic system, so it's very easy to close despite how big and heavy it is. You can, of course, adjust the seat as you see fit. If you had a longer day and you want to relax, it is no problem in the Escalade. It's exactly what it's used for. And I do prefer these manual controls, because if this was electronic, you would have to wait and it would be harder to access for some of those older passengers. This is very simple and everybody knows exactly how to use it. You can lock your door here or unlock it, and this only regulates this door right here. So if you get in and you want an immediate sense of privacy, you go ahead and just click that button. We, of course, have our piano black controls here with gorgeous chrome running throughout here. The door handle is this literal handle on the actual door sill right here, so it's very nice. The wood is running throughout, so even in the back you do maintain that level of comfort, and yet there's rubber running throughout the entire floor, so you do have your rubber floor mats to make sure the Escalade stays protected regardless of the weather that you are working this car in. And generally speaking, I think it's a very pleasant experience. You can set this up however you want. You have your reading light back here, and you have beautiful access to the back. Of course, captain chairs, you do feel very comfortable. They are very plush. You can set them up however you want, and generally I think driving in this car with the comfort, with the suspension, with this brake feel and this acceleration feel from the entire power plant, I think you feel gorgeous. You do also have a beautiful view of the entire display going on up front, and again, it is twisted slightly to the right, so even as a passenger back here in the captain seat, in the main captain seat, you can see exactly how quick your driver's going. You can see what they are seeing as much as they are, because that display is tilted literally to face you here as the main captain in the rear. So as a passenger, I do think you are certainly getting your money's worth in the Escalade, and I think it will generally bring your fleet company a much higher look if you are operating this vehicle, regardless of your size operation, because the Escalade is the pinnacle and everybody knows that. The Escalade ESV is the pinnacle in the automotive industry and has quickly earned its spot as the top one in the livery operation. Getting one for yourself is a no-brainer if you are looking for that luxury level of service. However, if you do pick it up from Complete Fleet, we hook it up with 2 different packages that you can select. And yes, this was the luxury package, so you do have deployable running boards, heads-up display, digital mirror, and a bunch of other goodies. But even if you do grab something like our massive fleet of those base models, you will still not be disappointed, because you are getting yourself a full GM livery-specific warranty, which does get you all of these goodies that you see on the screen. You have a massive powertrain warranty. You have a beautiful, no-deductible warranty service on any of the components that can go south on these vehicles. And generally, you have yourself a peace of mind for your livery operation. So if you are considering an Escalade or any of the other vehicles that Complete Fleet offers, please go ahead and give us a call at the phone number you see on the screen, and we will be more than happy to assist you in getting exactly what you're looking for in any quantity. Whether it's 1 or 10 Escalades that you need for your fleet or more, we are sure to be here for you. Thank you for watching Complete Fleet Livery Sales. We will see you in the next one.